Okay, everyone, let's start seated. Just gonna move my shoes out of the video here. All right, so as we come to our comfortable seated position, go ahead and try and find your sit bones on the mat. Those are those two little bony parts. And then think about sitting up nice and tall. So we are having class tonight, clearly. We will have class next Monday, the 24th. And then it is to be determined about the 31st, which is Halloween. Right now, it is up in the air if there is going to be trick-or-treating in the building. So I will, as soon as I know, I will send out an email to everyone so that we're all on the same page. So go ahead and breathe in, feel your spine get nice and tall. And then on your exhale, let everything out. Take another inhale and see if you can get your shoulders to line up over your hips. Think about drawing your navel in and up. Feel your sit bones sink down and your spine grows taller. And then breathe out. One more long inhale, feel your belly go forward, your back expand, your rib cage move out to the side. You want to fill your whole torso up with fresh air. And then exhale it all out. Go ahead and drop your chin to your chest. Think about keeping your spine straight. And if it's comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. Gently roll your right ear over to your right shoulder. And then come back through center. Gently roll the left ear over to the left shoulder. Come back through center. Roll again to the right. And again to the left. Bring the chin back to center. Then gently lift your head up. We're going to look to the right. And then slowly bring your head all the way to the left. And then back through center all the way to the right. And then back through center all the way to the left. And back to center, you're going to drop your right ear to your right shoulder like a tick-tocking motion. And then back to center, drop the left ear. Back to center, drop the right ear. And center, and then drop the left ear. Come back to center. Now we'll try and put it all together. And make a small circle. Rolling your neck and head. Not going too far to the back. So you want to keep the head in control. Rolling around. And then we're going to switch directions. I just forgot whether or not I hit record, which I did. And roll one more time. Go ahead and roll your shoulders, maybe together, maybe separate, whatever feels good for you. And then reach your arms out to the side. We want to get those strong arms, palms open, fingers spreading apart. Reach your fingers away from the body. Feel the muscles of your arms activate. And then we're going to keep the arms nice and straight. We're going to drop the right arm down, left arm up, look up at the left arm on this diagonal. And then on your inhale, bring the arm up. And then on your exhale, bend all the way over. Beautiful. And breathe here. And then come back. Arms in that T position, rotate your palms to the back, rotate your palms up. So we want to rotate our shoulders, warming up here. And then drop the right arm down, keep that long diagonal line. Gaze at our right fingers, breathe in. Reach the arm up by our ear, and then exhale, bend over to the left. Breathe here and stretch. And then come back, arms in T, move them forward. Flex your palms and then drop your hands down, stretching through the wrists, through the forearms. Nice. And then interlace your fingers and make a bit of a figure 8 with your hand. And then reverse it and go in the opposite direction. Shake your fingers out. Go ahead and hold on to your knees. We're going to do that coffee grinder move where we circle all the way around. I know it's a very old-fashioned term, those hand grind coffee grinders. But I used one this weekend. Keep going. I took a workshop on how to dye yarn with natural plants, and I had to grind up acorns, switch directions. That was my dye was acorns. And it was very hard to grind up those acorns with that little hand crank coffee grinder. And shockingly, the color that it made was brown. All right, come back to center. We're going to slowly make our way into our tabletop position. Lining our hands up underneath our fingers. Go ahead and wag your tail side to side a little bit. And then come back. Spread your fingers, line your shoulders up over your wrists. Like a bow and arrow, draw your left hand up and open to the sky, twisting through your torso. And then exhale nice and slowly underneath here to the mat. And then inhale, we're going to twist all the way back up and open again. And then exhale all the way down. One more time, twist all the way open. And then exhale all the way through. So we want to come on to this outer edge part of our shoulders. So you want to roll and twist a little bit more. You're coming onto the part of your hand that's a little bit behind your ear. So you're feeling a twist through this torso section. Then take your right hand and maybe tense your fingers and press into the mat a little bit, seeing if you can deepen this twist. Now, if you're like, this is really good, it feels nice, I want to do a little bit more, you can bring that right hand up and around and look for your left thigh, left hand. We're going to take 3 breaths here, nice, long, slow breaths. More. And then slowly press down with your right hand to come all the way back up, open maybe halfway up, just to sort of flush it out, and then come back to your tabletop. We can do a little cat-cow before we do the other side. So open your heart forward, exhale, inhale forward. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, forward. Low. Exhale, round. All right, back to neutral. Now taking your right hand like a bow and arrow all the way up to the ceiling. And then exhale under, come down with your ear. And then twist and open all the way up to the right. And then exhale down. One more time, twist open all the way up. And this time as we come down, we're going to try and get onto that outer edge of the shoulder. The back of the behind of your head, behind your ear. This is where you can tent onto your fingers. Your right palm should face up to the ceiling. And then if this feels really accessible and you want to press a little bit further, explore, bring your left hand all the way around to your right hand. 3 long breaths here. One more. And then slowly unwind, come back to your tabletop position. Again, we're gonna waggle side to side, letting our spines readjust, realign, and we'll do another round of cat-cat. So lining your shoulders up over your wrist, drop your belly, big inhale. And then exhale, round, crown of the head to the mat. Inhale forward. Exhale. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale. Come to your neutral. Curl your toes under. We haven't tucked our toes in our tabletop in a while. And then slowly start to sit your hips back towards your heels. Only go as far as you can manage. So there's might be a lot of sensation on your toes if you're like, yeah, no, that's not happening. Just go as far as you can. And then come all the way back up to your tabletop. And then sink your hips back again. See if maybe round two, you can go a little bit deeper. And then pull back up. One more, we'll let our hips sink back. And then pull to tabletop. Untuck those toes, let your feet flap on the ground a little bit. All right, reach that left leg back behind you and rock over the toes, getting into your calf muscle. Find your balance here, reach your left arm forward and float your left arm up by your ear. You can stay here or you can explore the balance by lifting your right foot up. So your right leg is extended at hip height, your left arm is extended at shoulder height. Stay here or explore tapping the knee to the elbow and then extending it back out. Bring the knee to the elbow and then extend it back out. One more time, knee to elbow, and then extend it back out. Slowly lower the hand down, touch the toes down, draw the knee underneath. Reach the left leg back behind you, rock back and forth over your toes. And then lift the left foot up to hip height. Reach the right arm up. Find your balance here before you take any more movement. And if you're comfortable here, then bring your knee to your elbow and then extend it out. Knee to elbow, extend it out. One more time, knee to elbow and extend. Lower your left toes down, lower your right hand down, turn your knee and go ahead and shake it out. Reach your right foot back behind you. Lift it up to hip height, bending your right knee, bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. And then come up onto your fingertips or a block if you have it, and rock back and forth. So it's a very gentle lizard pose. Our foot is out wider than our hands. See if you can keep your toes pointing forward so that your foot is parallel. And then come on up, letting your right hip open a little bit out to the right and the left hip is a little bit forward. And then again, see if you can take a little bit of a rock here. Probably can't move as far forward with them backwards without toppling over. And then come back down. Return that right knee behind you. If your knees are sensitive, fold your mat underneath. Bring that left leg back and then bring your left foot outside your left hand. So you want to try to keep the foot pointing forward, even though we're rotating that hip open. Come up onto your fingertips, rock back and forth. This will feel nice later when we do more of this. We'll be like, oh yeah, we do a little bit of that already. And then come all the way up, hands on hips, and see if you can, keeping your balance here, do a little more forward and back. Nice. And then bring the hands down, return the knees. Walk your hands one handprint forward, tuck your toes under, and slowly peel your hips up into downward facing dog. From here, you're gonna press your palms into the mat. Think about rotating your arm bones forward, lifting your hips up behind you. Let your heels get nice and heavy. So you're getting a deep stretch through the backs of your legs. Float your right leg up behind you. Draw your right knee in and slide your right foot all the way up between your hands to come into your low lunge. We're gonna lower that back knee down nice and gentle. Untuck the toes. And again, we're going to do a little bit of that rocking back and forth. So we have our foot out further and our knee back further. So you have a little more space this time. And now we're going to come all the way up, hands on hips. Let your hips shift forward. So you're getting a deep stretch through the left side. And then when you're ready, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Beautiful. Nice. Press down with your right foot so you're lining your hips back up over your knees so you're more in that 90-90 position. Open your arms into a T and now twist to the right. So we're starting to mess with our center of gravity, our balance. You might need to engage a little bit more to hold yourself up. And now cartwheel your hands down to either side of your right foot. Curl your left toes under, lift your knee up, and step back to downward facing dog. Let your heels get heavy. Lift your left leg up, bend your left knee, slide your left foot up between your hands. You're in your low lunge. Slowly lower your right knee down, untuck your toes, and start to rock back and forth. Come forward, bring your hands to your hips, sit up, stand up, kneel up, kneel up. Let your hips bump forward a little bit and then reach your arms all the way up nice and tall. Breathe here, feeling the stretch through your right front thigh, right front hip. And then open your arms into T and twist to the left. Beautiful. Take another breath here. And then cartwheel your hands down. Curl your right toes under, lift up your right knee, step back to downward facing dog. You can pedal your dog out or you can find stillness, whatever feels right for you. Put the right leg up behind you, bend the right knee, step all the way forward into your low lunge. We're going to lower the back knee again, untuck the toes, and this time we're going to press our hips all the way back, flexing our right toes. So this might be a place where you want to come up onto your blocks, or you might have the range where you can keep your fingertips on the mat. This is a big stretch through the back of your right leg. Think about keeping your spine straight, and then exhale, round like a cat spine. Lengthen, open your chest like in a cow, and then exhale, round like cat. And then the next time you bring your chest forward, roll back forward, plant your left hand down, twist up to the right. Breathe here, letting your right hip sit down nice and heavy. And then float the right hand down, curl the left toes under, lift up your left knee, step back into downward facing dog. Breathe. Put your left leg up behind you, bend your left knee, slide your left foot all the way up. Lower your right knee down, untuck your toes, and this time we're going to walk ourselves back, flexing our left toes up to the sky. Breathe, you're lengthening your spine, and then exhale. Inhale, open your heart forward. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, open your heart forward. Exhale, round. Plant your left foot down, plant your right hand down, and then twist up to the left. Nice. Bring your left hand down, curl your right toes under, lift your right knee, and step back to downward facing. Breathe here, lengthening your spine out. Let's do one more little low lunge thing. We're gonna put our right leg up, bend our knees, step our right foot all the way forward. This time we're gonna stay in our low lunge. So reach that left heel back. Press down through your entire right foot. So feel the heel, the big toe, and the pinky toe. Bring your hands onto your thigh. Press your thigh away from you. See if you can find space between your right rib cage and your right thigh. Breathe here. And then reach your arms up, seeing if you can retain the space that you found. Left heel reaches back nice and long. And then slowly melt your fingertips down, step back to downward facing dog. Nice pause here. Put your left leg up behind you, draw your left knee all the way in. Low lunge. Press down through your entire left foot. Left big toe, left pinky toe, left heel. And then when you're ready, climb up, hands on your thigh. Press your left thigh away from you. So there's a tiny little bit of an arch, opening your heart. Then when you're ready, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Beautiful. And now float your fingertips down, plant your fingers, step back to downward facing dog. Breathe here. Gaze forward at your hands and slowly start to walk your feet all the way up to meet your fingers. Hang heavy. Reach for opposite elbows. Soften your knees. Gently rock side to side. And then release the hands down. Roll up one vertebra at a time. Going all the way up to stand. Lining your knees up over your ankles, your hips up over your knees, your shoulders up over your hips. Your hands come to rest down by your side. Take one more breath in. And then inhale, bring your arms all the way up over. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back, pause here in this low lunge. Step your left foot back, pause here in plank. Lower your knees, untuck your toes. Slowly lower your chest all the way down to the mat. Take a breath here. And then inhale, exhale, take a back. Press yourself up through tabletop, curl your toes under, peel your hips all the way back up, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Step your right foot outside of your right hand. Step your left foot outside of your left hand. You're in a squat, if you can. And then stand all the way back up, feet together, hands down by your side. Take a breath. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, pause here in your low lunge. Step your right foot back, pause here in your plank. Lower your knees, bend your elbows, lower your chest and chin all the way down, untuck your toes, baby cobra. Press up through tabletop, curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Breathe here. So when I say press up through tabletop, what I want you all to think about is using your chest and back muscles, not just powering through with your arms. Put your left leg up behind you, step your left foot outside your left hand. Pop the right foot up outside your right hand, you're in a low squat. And then if you can, press up to stand. Bring your feet together. Let your arms come down by your side. All right, we're gonna do that a few more times. Picking up the pace and changing our push-up. Fun. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your right foot back. Pause. Step back to plank. Hold here. So you can do knees, chest, chin, or if you're ready, bend your elbows, lower halfway down. Untuck your toes. Come into your upward facing dog. And then exhale into your downward facing dog. And we'll all meet here, taking a few long, slow breaths. No rush. Put your right leg up behind you, bend your right knee, place your right foot outside of your right hand, or as close to it as you can. And then bring your left foot outside of your left hand. Let your hips come down into your squat. And then press up through your legs. And so you can use your hands, you can use a side table, a sofa, whatever you have. And once you're standing, arms come down by your side, feet come together. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, pause here in your low lunge. Step back to your plank. Pause here. And if you're lowering your knees down, you could lower your knees and lower your chest halfway, and then press back up. Untuck your toes, take your back bend, and then go into your downward facing dog. So if you're like, I'm not quite there for the full chaturanga, but I want to explore something a little bit different, that is an option. And I'll do that again. Put your left leg up behind you, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, come into your full squat, and then press to stand all the way up. All right, one more time each side, and I will do that halfway between thing again. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right leg back, hold here, step back to plank. Okay, so lower your knees. Now lower your chest halfway down. Press back up. Untuck your toes. Lift your knees and shins off the mat, coming into your upward facing dog. And then come into your downward facing dog. Breathe here. Put your right leg up behind you, bend your right knee, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, and left foot to the outside of your left hand. Full squat. And then stand all the way up. Feet together, arms by your side. One more side. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot in. Low lunge. Step back to plank. Drop your knees, untuck your toes, bend your elbows halfway down. Press back up. Lift your knees and shins off the mat, coming into your back bend, and then come into your downward facing dog. It's like the intermediary. Lift your left leg up behind you, step your left foot forward, step your right foot forward, yoga squat, and then stand all the way up, arms down, feet together. Breathe in and breathe out. Nice. So let's do a little bit of balancing. So we're going to come into our chair pose. Breathing here. Big, long, slow breaths. Bring our hands to heart center. And then lift our right heel up. Now can we come up onto our right toes? Now can we float our right toe off the ground? And then put our right foot all the way down, stand all the way back up. Sit into our chair pose. I think I might have left my soup on. Bring our hands to heart center. Lift our heel up. I'm like, did I turn the burner off? Look, I'm up onto the left toes. Lift the left big toe up. And then put the left foot all the way down. Stand all the way up. Breathe here. All right, let's see if we can bring our arms up. Sit down, hands to heart center. Now, can we bring our knee up, cross our leg over? This might be it for you. Maybe you can hook your foot and then sit a little bit lower. Breathe here. And then untwist, come all the way back up to stand. Back into our chair pose. Hands to heart center. Lift the heel up. Lift the knee. Cross it over. If possible, might not be possible. Each side is different too. Like this side is a lot harder for me. Sit a little bit lower. And then untwist. Stand all the way up. Oh, good job. All right, always good to do a little bit of balancing, testing out. It's good for our brain, it's good for our bodies, working that right side, left side. All right, let's do a little flow, do some standing postures. So go ahead and come to the top of your mat. Inhale, bring your fingers all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to plank. Your choice of your vinyasa. So knees, chest, chin, or maybe that halfway in between. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Breathe here. Put your right leg up behind you, draw your right knee all the way into your chest, slide your right foot up between your hands. You're in your low lunge. You're gonna turn your right heel down, pressing into the outer edge of your right foot. Reach your arms out and up. Coming into warrior one. Straighten your front leg. And then exhale back into your warrior one. Open your arms into your T position and then float them back behind you, interlacing your fingers, left thumb on top, open your heart up to the ceiling. And then exhale all the way forward. Crown of the head down to the ground. Beautiful. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Breathe here. One more breath. Pulling your fingers back to bring yourself back up to your warrior one. Release the grip. Cartwheel your arms open into your warrior two. If you have to adjust your feet, go ahead and do that. And then straighten your fingers, tap them together overhead. Exhale, melt back down. Bend your right arm on right leg, reach your left arm up and over. We're gonna stay here for a couple more breaths. Try not to wobble side to side, press down into that front foot. See if you can get your right thigh parallel to the ground. And then open back into your warrior two. Turn your right palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. And then cartwheel yourself all the way down. Step back to plank. Go through your version of your vinyasa. And we will meet in downward facing dog. Taking your time, no rush. Breathe here. Put your left leg up behind you, draw your left knee all the way in, slide it up during your low lunge. Turn your right heel down, pressing into the outer edge of your right foot, reach your arms out and up, coming into warrior one. Straighten your front leg, make sure you're pressing into your right foot, and then bend back down. Open your arms into a T. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, right thumb on top, let your fingers reach down your back, heart open, and then exhale, fold forward. Left shoulder to left knee, crown of the head to the ground, reach those fingertips up to the sky. Breathe in. Let your knuckles lead the way as they pull back to bring your chest back up. Slowly release the grip, bring your arms back up to warrior one. Open into warrior two. Straighten your left leg, let your fingertips tap overhead, and then exhale back into warrior two. Bend your left arm, place your left arm on your left thigh, reach your right arm up and over. Long line. Deep breaths. One more. Come back to warrior two. Turn your left palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. And then cartwheel your hands down. Step back to plank. Go through your version of your vinyasa. And we will meet in downward facing dog. Nice slow breath. Put your right leg up behind you, bend your right knee, slide your right foot all the way forward. Low. Turn your left foot down, reach your arms out and up, warrior one. Straighten your right leg, turn your hips to the front of your mat, re-bend your right leg. Open your arms into T, and then interlace your fingers behind your back, left thumb on top. Let your fingers reach back towards your knee, and then exhale, fold forward, right shoulder to right knee, crown of the head down to the ground. Knuckles up to the ceiling. 2 more breaths here. And letting your knuckles pull your torso back up. Release the grip coming into your warrior one. Open into your warrior two. Straighten your right leg, tap your fingers overhead. Exhale, bend back down. Right arm on right thigh, reach your left arm up and over. And now see if you can bring your left hand behind you, looking for that right hip. Maybe you can slide your right hand down to the floor or a block. Coming deeper into the twist. One more breath here. Unwind back into warrior two. Turn your right palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. Adding on, straighten your right leg, coming into peaceful triangle. And then reach towards the front of your mat as you come all the way into triangle. Right hand on a block or on your shin, left arm reaching straight up. Breathe here. Stand all the way back up using those inner thigh muscles. Bend your right knee, cartwheel your hands down, step back to plank. Go through your version of your vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin, baby cobra. Maybe you just take a child's pose. Maybe you come to tabletop and do a little cat cow. And then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Arms long, hips up. Put your left leg up behind you. Step your left foot all the way. Turn your right heel down. Into the outer edge of your right foot. Reach your arms out and up, coming into warrior one. Straighten your front leg, adjust your feet if you need to. Melt back into your warrior one. Arms come into a T, and then bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, right thumb on top. Let your knuckles trail down your leg, open your heart to the ceiling, and then exhale. Dive forward. Left shoulder to left knee, crown of the head to the ground. Reach your arms up to the sky. Breathe here. Using your knuckles, pull your torso all the way up. Release your hands, come back into your warrior one. Open into your warrior two. Straighten your left leg, fingertips tap overhead. Exhale, bend back into your warrior two. Bend your left arm, reach your right arm up and over. Nice long line. And then see if you can bring your right hand to your left hip. Maybe your left hand comes down to the block or the floor. See if you can twist the torso. Breathe here. And then come back up to warrior two. Turn your left palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. Straighten your left leg, peaceful triangle. And then reach your left arm all the way forward to the front of your mat, coming into triangle. Hand on the floor, hand on a block. Right arm reaching straight up. Breathe here. Engage your inner thighs to lift your torso back up to standing. Bend your left knee back into warrior two. Cartwheel yourself down. Step back to plank. Go through your version of your vinyasa. Okay, we're gonna do lizard, and then we're gonna do pigeon. Okay, so we're gonna do some hip opening here. So let's start in our downward facing dog. So we've done some wider stepping stuff already today. So float your left leg up behind you, bend your left foot, bring it to the outside of your left hip. So we were here before. We're going to lower our right knee down. We want to slide it back a little bit. We want to press your left knee against your left shoulder. You want your toes to try and point forward, not at an angle. Now we're going to shift our weight into our right hand. We're going to place our left hand on our inner thigh. And we're going to gently press that leg open, getting an itty bitty, teeny weeny back bend here. And then bring the knee back, place the left hand down on the ground. We're going to walk our hands out maybe 6 inches or so in front of you. And then try and lower both elbows at the same time. And then lift them back. Lower both elbows at the same time. And one more time, lower them both down. And maybe this time they stay down here, or maybe you put them on a block or on a pillow. Or maybe you come back up to somewhere in between. Maybe you lift your right knee up off the ground if that's accessible. Of course, feel free to rock a little bit, finding space in this lizard pose. And now lower the right knee, come back onto the hands, and step yourself back into your downward facing dog. Pedal your down dog out, shake your hips, wag your tail, whatever you need to do. Put your right leg up behind you, bend your right knee, slide your right foot to the outside of your right hand. So you want to line your foot up with the edge of your mat, your toes are pointing to the front of the mat. Your right knee is hugging your right shoulder, lower your left knee down. Scoot your left knee back a little bit so you're finding some extra opening. Breathe here. And then walk your hands forward or slide them forward. So you want your elbows in line with the arch of your foot, and then you're going to try and lower and lift. Lower them together, lift. Last time, lower, and maybe this time they stay all the way down. And by the way, my elbows don't get all the way to the ground when I do that. It's the concept of lowering them and lifting them. And in this position, you might want to have your elbows on a block or a pillow or something, blanket. And if you can lift your back knee up. And then find some movement here, getting into your hip. Just a few more breaths. And then make your way back to your downward facing dog. Again, walk it out, shake it out, whatever feels good for you. Now we're going to move into our pigeon. Just still a hip opener, but the other side of our hip. So float your left leg up behind you, draw your left knee towards your left wrist, and then bring your left foot across your mat. We're going to slide our right leg back behind us. Check that your right leg is straight. If you need a cushion under your left hip, go ahead and get that. Come down to your forearms. And if it's comfortable, come all the way down or place your hands and stack them so that your head can rest on your hands. Some of us love this position, some of us hate it. If you are in dislike camp, maybe it's better for you to lie on your back and do a figure 4 instead of this version, which will still open your outer hip. So we did our inner hips with lizard, and now we're going to do our outer hips with pigeon. Just going to hit all the animals today. We did eagle. We did not do rabbit. We're not going to do camel. So don't worry about it. See if you can extend your leg a little bit more behind you, creating a little bit more space. Hanging out here. Try not to let your mind wander. Think about your inhales and your exhales so that you stay focused. So on your next breath, start to lift yourself up and out of it. Going back into your tabletop or your downward facing dog. Taking a moment to realign your right side and your left side because they're starting to feel really different. And now float the right leg up behind you, draw the right knee to the right wrist. And the same thing, slide your left leg back behind you. Make your way to bringing your torso down. Stacking your hands or keep a block. And straighten that left leg back behind you. And start to slowly come all the way back up. Back into your tabletop or your downward facing dog. And if you're in down dog, lower into your tabletop, across your ankles, and roll back into a seated position. Bring your feet into our butterfly or cobbler's pose, where the soles of your feet touch each other. Hold on gently to your ankles, sit up nice and tall, and then on your exhale, round your back. Inhale, lift your spine nice and tall, and then exhale, round your back. Inhale, nice and tall, and exhale. So we're going to try to come into fire lock since we've done all this hip opening. So fire lock is when you bring I'm going to bring my left leg so that my left shin is parallel in front of my body. And then I'm gonna try and put my left ankle on, my right ankle on top of my left knee, so. You wanna try and like line your knees and your ankles up together. So our hips are pretty warmed up, so you might be surprised. You wanna try and get your bottom foot closer to me. And you can put your block under here. So like, yeah, there you go. All right, and this might be like, you might be going, no way, Angela, I'm not doing that. It's okay, I understand. Maybe you're like, this feels dreamy, I'm gonna fold forward. Go for it, you can. I won't stop you. Or it might be really intense and you're like, yep, nope, I'm just gonna sit up here for a few more breaths until she tells us we can move. So try and take one long, slow breath, feeling the feelings. And then slowly lift your top leg out. Bring your feet out in front of you. Go ahead and do a little windshield wiper, because you deserve that. And now if you can remember which leg was on top, that one's going to go on the bottom this time. So you're bringing your leg out in front of you, so there's a lot of space here. And then you put this other leg on top of it. So I don't know why they call it firewood, but you know, that's what they're called these days. So again, you can like stack whatever you need between your ankle and your knee. So give yourself some support, but also start to feel your hips opening. We did that, all that lizard and all that pigeon. So it might be better than you think. You can explore folding forward, or maybe not. And one side might feel very different from the other. So go ahead and come on out. Bring your feet out in front of you. Do a little seated windshield wiper. And then we're going to plant our feet on our mat. And we're going to do our slow roll down to a count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I was giving the room a chance to catch up with me. All right, so from here, we're going to stretch our left leg out and away from us. We're going to draw our right knee into our chest, interlace our fingers around our right shin. Explore how close you can pull the leg into you. So pull and release, hug and release. And then with your left hand, you're going to guide your right knee all the way over to the left. And you want to see if you can get your knee down, but also keeping your right shoulder down as much as possible. So you want to feel this elongation, this stretch from your left knee to your right shoulder. And if it's comfortable, turn your head and look at your right hand. We're going to stay here for a couple of long, slow breaths. And now slowly bring the knee back to your chest as you roll back onto your back. And then extend the right leg away from you. Draw the left knee into your chest. Hug your left shin in and then squeeze and release. Hug and release. And now with your right hand, guide your left knee all the way across towards the floor on the right. And extend your left arm out. Twist. We're going to stay here. And breathe. And then roll back onto your back. Plug your knee in, extend your leg out. So go ahead and take any last minute moves. Maybe you want to take a happy baby. Maybe you want to do a bridge or a plow. And go ahead and do all of that, or you're ready to set up for your Shavasana. It's gonna get really dark in here now. Sunset is happening sooner. So go ahead and lie down, extend your arm away from you, extend your other arm away from you, extend your right leg, extend your left leg. Take a big inhale, feel your body fill up with air, and then exhale it off, maybe even make some noise. Bring your energy and focus to your big toes, your little toes, and all those toes in between. Curl them into your bottom of your foot. Tighten your foot, squeeze, and then let it go. Shake them out, let them relax. Bring your energy, attention, and focus to your ankles, your calves, your shins, your knees, your thighs, your quads. Tighten every muscle of your legs. Squeeze, tense up your legs, squeeze it all in. And then let it go, shake it out, let it relax. Bring your energy and attention to your hips and your torso and your waist. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your belly in, tighten it all up. Think of it like you're wringing out your middle, and then exhale, let it all go, shake it out, let it relax. Bring your attention and focus to your chest, to your shoulders, to your back. Tense it all up. Squeeze it in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale, let it relax. Shake it out. Place your thumb inside your palm. Wrap your fingers around that thumb. Squeeze it a little bit tighter. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then let your fingers relax. Shake it out. Bring your attention to your wrists, your arms, your elbows, your biceps, your triceps. Tighten every muscle of your arm up, squeeze them in, tense them up. Think about wrapping those muscles around the bones, making it so tight, and then let it go. Shake it out. Bring your energy and focus to your shoulders, your neck, your head, your face. Tighten and squeeze everything up, tighten it together, squeeze, squeeze, and then let it go. Shake it out. Let it relax. From the top of your head all the way down to your toes, tense up every single muscle, squeeze it in, tense it up, squeeze, 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 and then let it go. Let it relax. Move into your stillness. We'll stay here for about 2 minutes. And try it. If you're ready to come out of your Shavasana, you can go ahead and come out with me. If since you're at home, you want to stay in it for longer, then stay and relax. Otherwise, start to wiggle your fingers, shake your toes, gently rock your head side to side. And when you're ready, stretch your arms up. Bring your knees into your chest. Over one to one side. And come into a seated position. Reach your arms all the way out and up. Draw your hands down through your center. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Feel your heartbeat, feel your breath. Acknowledge your life force moving around inside of you. Acknowledge and appreciate the time that you gave yourself tonight. I appreciate you all for coming and letting me lead you through this practice. Namaste. And I will see you all again next week. And then I will let you know about Halloween.